the whole countdown thing. There's no countdown. We just go live when we're supposed to go live. There's no countdown from 30 down to 1. We're live right now, so we're doing it right now. So
we're live.
Yeah. Well, what's up, John?
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Every time I see you, you start looking more and more like I do. If you show up next time with a Adidas hat on, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Done. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. But hey, everyone, welcome to On the Rack, episode 4. This is going to be a good show. If you guys are just going to watch on the rewind, that's fine. There's some other shows going on tonight that you want to watch. Feel free to go jump there and watch them. And if you want to come back some other time, you can. It's, I'm not fighting for views against others, to be honest. So anyway, but this is episode 4, like I said, of On the Rack with myself and my buddy John. Well, our topic today is the role of a comic book YouTuber. What is that role? This is actually a discussion we had with me and Bob on a Coffee and Comics episode a few years ago. And there's been a lot going on in the comic book YouTube community. And I think I want to address it and kind of, tell you my point of view from where it stands now as opposed to where it was a few years back. But let me give you a rundown of what we got going on, because that's not the only thing we do on the show. We're going to start off with some announcements, and then we're going to go to the topic like I just said. We'll do the On the Rack segment, which is the books that are coming out this week and a couple that are hitting next week. And then we'll have the John's Gadoosh segment. That's what it was called. I had to go look it up. It's called John's Gadoosh. Yeah, Gadoosh segment. That's where John kind of takes over and does whatever he wants to do. I did get some books over the last few days from Dynamite and stuff like that. So I got some pickups. I want to share those. And then at the end of the show, we do a segment called Shoot the Shit, to where we just talk about anything we want. And actually, I wanted to talk to you about, there's a new documentary about wrestling that came on Netflix. I don't know if you watched it, but I know a lot of people have. And we'll talk about that towards the end. But let's go ahead and jump right into the topic. First things first. And actually, let me just say hello to some of the people. Brian, LCS, hello. Kenneth, hello. John, hello. Paul Gomez, hello. Darth, hello. And actually, I forgot, I got to do the announcements. So let's do the announcements first. Because the first thing I want to do is say a very happy birthday to our good friend Bob. Today is his 67th birthday. He's looking pretty good for 67. And but anyway, everyone, this is Bob. We all know him from the Coffee and Comics video. So happy birthday, Bob. You know that guy, don't you, John?
Oh yeah. Yeah, never met him, but I want to. So
yeah. Today he turned 65, so it's pretty cool. Yeah. Let me go another one of our announcements here. Let's see here. And of course, and the link is down below. We are always supporting Jenn from Comics Will Break Your Heart with her battle for cancer. Please, if you can donate her GoFundMe, the link is down below. And also, if you want to join us our Thursday for the claim sales I do with Dynamite, all my commissions go 100% to help Jenn for the rest of this month and next month and probably beyond, to be honest. So please go check out Jenn. I would appreciate it. Let's see. We got some more announcements. This will only take about a couple minutes, so we'll be done here pretty quick. First thing, I want to share this. This is going on at Dynamite. We got to pay some bills. So Transformers 4th anniversary trading card set Kickstarter is live. It's doing really well. It's pretty close to $200,000. The link for that is also down below. There's another Kickstarter I want to share real quick that's kind of going on from a smaller publisher here. And this is from Critical Entertainment. This is going on. This has got 6 days left. You can support Critical Entertainment. They're also, like I said, a small independent comic book publisher. The link for that is also down below, so please go check that out. Let's see. Do I have anything else on my announcements? Yes, I got one more. So on Saturday, I'm going to be a guest on Cliff on Comics and on his show. And he has a show called Comics and Coffee with Cliff, which is similar to one I used to do. But I purposely switched the name around to Coffee and Comics because everyone else named theirs Comics and Coffee. So I did Coffee and Comics. But anyway, I'm going to be on this show Saturday morning. Should be interesting because I'm pretty sure I'll have a nice hangover from hanging out with Robbie the night before. So join us on Saturday. And it's also kicking off the Comics Curing Cancer, I believe. So please join us there. Let me see if I got all my announcements done. Yes, I did. So, Lisa, hello. Katie, hello. Biggie Shack, what's going on? Seth, hello. How are you? So let's go ahead and get into the topic. Like I said, what is the responsibility of a comic book YouTuber? What is the role of a comic book YouTuber? And the reason I want to have this conversation is, my friend right here, John. Okay. John is new as far as doing videos and content and stuff like on YouTube. Before that, when we met a couple years ago, he was a viewer. So he was watching comic book YouTube. So I want to ask you first, before I kind of get into this, when you started watching comic book YouTube, what did you want to get out of it as far as what you were looking for? What attracted you to certain channels as a viewer?
What was coming out?
Okay.
Because I wasn't working at a store, so I didn't know what books were good or not. And then after seeing her reviews, then I got to know the comic book channel.
Sure.
Like there's so many, obviously there's so many different ones, like yours, just with different topics, comic pop, comic historian, which we'll talk about later. But that was my main goal, is what is out, what is good. So that was the beginning.
So what were you looking for as far as, okay, there's the content you're looking for, what's coming out, what's all that stuff. As far as the creator that you're looking for, the creator and the attitude and what as a viewer were you looking for? What was attracting you to that creator themselves as far as personality, stuff like that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I tried to, honestly, I wasn't very picky. I just wanted somebody that wasn't snarky, that wasn't bossy or bully. They just had a nice, friendly attitude. I mean, come on. We are all nerds, okay? That's what we are. That's why we do this. That's why they're watching this. Yeah. So somebody with that attitude that, is a nerd on TV and happy. I don't want somebody who thinks their shit don't stink. And
a little bit too much machismo.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's good.
Yeah.
But not in a, hey, what I'm saying is more important than what everybody else is saying. That's it. Yeah. For me, it was how you approach things on a channel.
Yeah. Well, let me kind of fill in as far as what I kind of look for and what I enjoy. I enjoy someone who's very down to earth and very much like someone I would hang out with as well. Mm-hmm. I think there's a difference between someone who thinks they know everything, and that comes across on screen very easily sometimes when people feel that way, as opposed to someone like, hey, I could just go hang out with that guy and we could talk, have coffee together, and it'd be great. Exactly. And that's one thing that I really focused on when I really got into doing YouTube. It's like, I want to have the conversation with Bob. I want it to be like you're having a conversation with your friends, and everyone is welcome in that conversation, whether it's a different opinion or not, that's fine. But everyone was welcome into the conversation. Now, the reason I bring that up is because a lot of things over the last, let's just say, year or so, I think that a lot of that is lacking sometimes in our comic book community. I think one of the things that is lacking in there, I think people miss the coffee and comics show, because it was the type of show that like brought everyone kind of together and people really enjoyed it, as opposed to shows that might tear people apart. And I think there is a lot more shows out there now that kind of have that divisiveness and have that split down the middle. It's like either you're with us and you're against us type thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know what triggered that, because I mean, there's obviously certain individuals that you can point to and say, there it is, but it can't just be one person. It's almost like a wave of something like that. And I don't know what triggered that. I don't know if it's the environment that we live in today and how divisive everything is, and how it rolls over into something as little as a hobby fascinates me. I don't understand why something as little as a hobby, like collecting comics, can have something be very divisive, and people get very upset about things like that. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, you've been watching a lot of YouTube. Are you seeing that? Am I alone? I don't think I'm alone. I think you're probably seeing the same thing.
No, I'm seeing the same thing. You know, I saw more positive before when I started, which was what, a couple years ago, you know, to a bunch of negative, you know, bullies. And unfortunately, I don't know when this started too. You like the Punisher. Let's say I don't. Why do you like the Punisher? That's stupid. You're stupid. You got to be like me. I don't like him. I don't understand that. Like, if you read a book and you don't like it and I like it, let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
You know, like, why? Not saying you're wrong. You're wrong. I don't know when that started. If it was the internet or, you know, keyboard bullies, I have no idea. Yeah.
And I mean, obviously there's a catalyst why I kind of wanted to have this conversation. There's a gentleman in the community, he goes by the name Sticky Goose. His name is Daniel. He recently had a very good friend of mine, Tom, on this channel. It went a direction I don't think anyone, or I don't think Daniel was anticipating, and it is what it is, you know, and it was hopefully a very humbling moment for both individuals, to be honest, whatever it is. And we'll kind of address that here in a certain way that I want to talk about. And but there's one thing I want to say about the space that we're all in. And I hear this term thrown out a lot as far as, oh, if you're going to be on here, if you're going to be YouTube, you have to have thick skin to do this. And personally, I think that philosophy is bullshit. I think it's stupid that when people say that, oh, you got to have thick skin to do a YouTube and a hobby. I think that's kind of a cop out for, you know what, just be a decent person, you know? And if you need thick skin, you need thick skin if you're in law enforcement, or if you're in the military, or if you're doing something that actually, you know, is a detriment, or, you know, a different field. As far as being on YouTube and doing stuff like this, if you have the attitude like here we are talking about a hobby and you don't belong if you don't have thick skin, that's fucking stupid. You know, it's like, you know what, open the door, let people in. You know, people come here to find friendship, to find, you know, a community, okay? Not a community of assholes. They come here to find a community of like-minded people. So when I hear that term, you gotta have thick skin, you know, it's like, you know what? Why label that? Why put that on there? Why sit there and say something like that? Because that like automatically scares people off.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, because I've had many emails sent my way, and conversations I've had with people who were having a hard time in life, you know, and they found comfort in watching some of my videos, especially the ones with me and Bob did, you know, and, you know, their skin in terms is not thick at that moment, but they were able to find something that kind of helped them along the way, you know?
Sure.
And why not embrace that as opposed to sit there and say, you know what, man, you can't hack it if you got thin skin in this thing. That's not the case. And I think that mentality should switch. And that's always the mentality I have. If you do have, quote, like thin skin or whatnot, so what? You know, take a leap of faith. You know, try it out. You know, you know, there's a lot more, unfortunately, if it bleeds, it leads, or whatever the saying is, you know, so negative attention gets more press. You know, you don't watch the evening news and they're saying how wonderful things are. The evening news is all about shit, you know, that's happening. You know, that's what gets the press or whatever, you know, the headlines. But you know what, there's nothing wrong with being nice, you know, and being, you know, inviting to people that, you know, are looking for something. And, you know, so when I hear that term thrown out there, I don't think people really know what they're talking about. I think it's kind of selfish, to be honest. And, you know, I think people should probably just, you know, hey, everyone's looking for something and where they belong, you know, stuff. And why not leave that door open and, you know, with anyone's faults that they have, you just kind of let them in.
Exactly.
But, you know, I mean, am I off base? I mean, you can disagree with me or anything. Anyone in the chat, if you disagree with me or whatnot, but wouldn't it be a nice thing to say that, you know what, hey, even though, you know, maybe you have some issues or whatever you want to call it, you know what? So what? You're welcome here. You're welcome to come in. You're welcome with all your flaws and your feelings or whatnot. You're welcome. And I think that's a lot better than the other way around.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to mention, and there's two different versions of myself. As far as Bueller, Travis, it's the same guy, but there's two different versions in my YouTube career as far as where I started and where I am now. When I started, okay, and started rolling and started doing really well, I was really focused on, growing the channel and, getting views and all that stuff. But I was having a good time. There's never a space in there where I wasn't enjoying myself. Okay. It was all about, if I enjoy doing what I'm doing, I'm going to do it. But I was also really focused on, paying attention to what works, doing things that will help grow my channel, all that stuff.
Sure.
And it worked, and it was good. And it was all a positive vibe. I intentionally made a choice. I'm going to go positive, and people are going to leave this with a smile on their face. They're going to enjoy it, and that was important to me. When I was doing that, the kind of the gun ho and everything, now I'm at a different spot. I still have that joy. I still have that, stuff. I really enjoy doing this, but my focus is not to grow the channel. That's not what I'm trying to do. I don't look at the views anymore. I don't really care, about views. My focus is now more on helping others as far as, what can I do for Dynamite? What can I do for Critical Entertainment? What can I do for Blackbox Comics? As opposed to what can I do for myself? I don't really, my journey as far as that goes is different now than what it was. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really important to be selfless when it comes to something like this. And especially when people have sat there and who have subscribed to your channel and given you their time. Okay. And you owe it to them to, be honest and upfront with them. So I let people know, hey, this is this is what I want to do, and not be, kind of different direction. But I think everyone has noticed that my personal things I enjoy, my tastes have changed over the years and stuff as far as what I wanted. But it's funny because you can get caught up in your YouTube channel, and when you see those numbers climb and you got all these people watching and commenting and all this stuff, it's kind of like it's an adrenaline, okay? But you can't lose focus of what you're doing as far as, maybe if I'm not enjoying it, or maybe if I'm going down a different path that I wasn't intending to go down to, and I'm not really happy with it, it's okay to say, you know what, pump the brakes.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I'm going down the right direction I want to go down. And I want to make sure that my audience is enjoying that direction as well, because you owe it to them.
Sure.
I don't know if any of this is making any sense to anyone in chat.
It does make sense. And I understand that for me, just doing the video, the shorts I've been doing just for a little over a month, how many people came up to me and said, hey, your videos are great, but maybe you should do one book you like and one book you don't like.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to tell anybody's book that is not good, because again, like we just said, what's good for me might be not good for you, and vice versa. Yeah. So it was already the negative, and just exactly what you said.
Yeah.
The negative, they think that if you put something negative, it'll get the clicks. This, you know what? I would love to do a test to saying you make that stupid face on the thumbnail on the thing, like, this book is great. This book, and then you go like, this book stinks. I guarantee you the one that says this book stinks gets more views.
Oh, it does. I've done a video in the past when we were reviewing mystery boxes on the copy and comic. I cut those out. So I had one that was like, is this the best? I think the title was, is this the best mystery box on the market? And then I had another one that said, is this the worst mystery box on the market? And guess which one got more views? The one that said the worst. Okay. Yeah. It's human nature.
Yeah.
But there's one thing you can do. You can do that the worst video, is just the worst, and you can still make that video, but you can at least be respectful about it. And I think that's the biggest thing that we're kind of running into a problem. People aren't respectful about stuff anymore.
Very little respect.
And that's really shitty, you know, when you think about it. You know, it's just like you know, there's a way to do it and a way to not to do it, you know. And I remember when I did I made a video about my contract with Whatnot after that was over with and stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of people watched it, like 10, 12,000 people watched that video. Okay. And a lot of people were upset that I wasn't like sitting there saying fuck Whatnot, you know, and all this stuff, you know, and saying, oh, they're a bunch of pieces of shit, as opposed to the way I worded it. You know, I was not happy with the situation. I was disappointed. I just laid the facts out, but it was a respectful way to do it. It wasn't like just me talking a bunch of shit, you know, about something or whatever, you know. And that's not really the type of guy I am or want to be, you know. I mean, sure, I can get triggered in the heat of the moment, you know, or something like that. But as far as like, if I'm going to sit down and make a video, you know, I'm going to, you know, try to be as informative and as you know, correct as I can, you know. And that doesn't involve, you know, a profane laced profanity thing.
No,
you know,
you don't need to go there.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, but you see that, and a lot of people watch that video, but like I said, a lot of people were upset that I didn't just go off, you know. And then there were a lot of people that really enjoyed it. So, I mean, it kind of goes both ways. Sure. There's a few other things I wanted to make sure I hit on this. And like I said, what kind of brought this to attention was the Sticky Goose video or live stream that he did with Tom. And I've known Tom for a very long time. Okay. Me and Tom go back to almost day one. Our YouTube channel started 2 days apart. His started 2 days before mine. Mine was 2 days later, and me and Tom became friends like a month after that. We've been friends ever since. We knew each other when we had 100 subscribers. You can go back on both of our channels. We were doing live shows together every week, you know, when we were first running and stuff like that. So Tom and I have been friends for a long time, and he actually called me later that night after he did the interview with Sticky Goose, and I kind of knew what was going to happen. Okay. I kind of knew that that's where it was going to go, because I know that Tom's had questions like this for 7 years. You know, this is not new stuff. And Tom is a professional. He's wise beyond his years, to be totally honest. I know that because I've spent time with him. I remember the first time I met him, I think he was 24 years old, and we were talking, and I'm like, this guy knows way more than he should know about comics for being, you know, half my age and stuff. And I was immediately impressed, immediately liked him. So when I saw that video, and we all saw the way it went, I don't think anyone in here probably didn't see it. And, you know, the Sticky Goose guy, I don't like calling him. I think that's a weird name. So his name's Daniel. Okay. His name is Daniel. So I'm just going to call him Daniel. My name's Bueller, Travis, whatever it is, John. Okay. So Daniel did that interview. He definitely had a motive to go in there and kind of attack and kind of go at Tom. You know, it didn't go the way he wanted it to go, and he looked foolish. You know, he looked very foolish with what happened. You know, and I think that probably for both parties involved, more so for Daniel, I think it was you know what, maybe this isn't the direction I feel good about. Okay, because I don't know that I find it hard to believe, and maybe this is more the kind of person I am. I find it hard to believe that someone can be totally okay with constantly making content about negative stuff. Okay, I don't know the type of person who is okay with doing that. Okay, and I think down deep, when I want to think of, you know, the goodness of man, I'm like, you know, there has to be a point where you're like, you know what, man, this really kind of sucks.
Yeah.
I don't like talking shit all the time, or
sure, but there's some people out there
others
like it.
Feel bad, you know. And I hope that as time goes on, and I reached out to Daniel the other day. I sent him a message, you know, and he's had a couple choice things to say about me over the past, and that's fine. It wasn't too horrible by any means in comparison to some of the other stuff, you know, that he said. And I said, you know what, man, I go and I just kind of reach out to him and say, hey, how you doing? You know, how are you doing? Okay. Because the one thing I admire about Daniel and Tom, for that matter, and really, this is kind of weird, but they have so much more in front of them as opposed to what they do behind them. Okay. And that's the way I look at it. You and I are a certain age. We've lived most of our life. Okay. They're, if I'm not mistaken, I think Daniel's like early 30s. Okay. And so is Tom. There's so much more life in front of them to do to kind of see what that path is. Okay. And how much of that path do you want to spend shitting on others? Okay. Or how much of that path do you want to spend, you know, bringing people together? Okay.
Sure.
And so I kind of, I look back all the time. That's my biggest regret, is I didn't start doing this till I was in my mid 40s. Okay. That's my biggest regret, because I figured, man, if I started doing this when I was in my mid 30s, you know, plenty of time to do this, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like a whole new ball game. So when I look at like Tom and Daniel, and I say to myself, man, they got so much ahead of them. What can they do? What can they do to kind of, you know, if this is something they want to pursue? Obviously, we know that Tom is all in on this, you know. So what does Tom do going forward in the future, as far as bringing our comic book community together or providing value to that? What does Daniel do going forward? Okay, he obviously has an audience that's followed him quite a bit. Okay, through thick and thin, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so what can he do with that audience? What can you do, and can you add to that audience, but a different direction? When we were doing the coffee and comic show, that was all positive. We had conversations and stuff. They weren't negative. I mean, we hit on topics. We had our opinions, but it wasn't like a personal attack on someone. Okay.
Sure.
It was like, hey, here's the problem with CGC. Let me tell you what it is. Let me tell you what I don't like. Okay. We're not sitting there saying, hey, that guy Rick that works at CGC is a real dick. You know, That's not what the conversation is. And there's a difference. Okay. There's definitely a difference between the two. You can have that conversation the right way. Okay. And you can grow your YouTube channel at the same time. Those coffee and comics videos, you can go look at them. There's ones that have 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000 views all over the map, man. I mean, they're all over the place. And none of them have anything to do with any type of, we're not shitting on anybody. Okay.
Right.
None of them at all. And that was a intentional decision that myself made and Bob made as well. My other videos that are hundreds of thousands of views, 50,000 views, whatever they are, none of those are me shitting on anyone. Okay. They're all for the love and pure joy of comics, is what it is. So there is that path. That path is available. It might just be a little bit harder work, as opposed to saying the house is burning down. Okay. Come watch the flames. That's kind of the easy road to take. And you have to make a conscious decision of what type of road that you're going to take. Myself, I decided not to take the easy road. Okay. I wanted to earn it. I wanted to put a smile on everyone's face, and I wanted to enjoy it. And I believe everyone enjoyed it as well. I put a comment on my Instagram today about this video, and I put on there, I put the thumbnail, and I said, hey, this is the topic tonight. And then there was a gentleman in there that follows me, has really enjoyed my content over the years, and he was very critical on Daniel, or Sticky Goose. Okay. And he didn't like the fact that I left a comment that was kind of like, don't give up, there's more chapters to come. I think that's kind of what I said. Okay. And I go, I'm curious to see your audience, or whatever it was. But he was very critical of Daniel and stuff. And you know what? He had every right to be. Okay. He had every right to be. I didn't I read all his stuff he left on the post. I was like, he's right. He's absolutely right to feel that way, as far as the direction that was chose that Daniel took. Okay. And because that's the aftermath of doing all that stuff. Of course you're going to get, people like that. Okay. And he had said something, it's like he had said something to me like I'm giving him a free pass for everything that he's done, as far as now. And I said to him back, I go, it's not really about him, about the type of person he is. It's more about the type of person I am. And I'm the type of guy to where, you know what? You made a if you want to call it a mistake, I don't even know if he refers to it as a mistake. In my mind, it was not something I would have done. But I also believe that, if you realize that, and if you take time to, like, I don't think the book is closed on someone, I'm more of an open mind and be like, you know what, if you, and this is an off topic analogy, but I mean, if someone gets convicted of, robbing a bank, okay, and does their time, do they come out of jail and not deserve to try to make a living because of what they did? Okay. I'm like, hey, you understand what I'm saying? I don't write people off just because they made a poor choice that you didn't agree with,
Right.
Maybe they might surprise you. Okay.
Sure.
I was not a very good husband. Okay. When I was married. Okay. I was young. I had a preconceived notion in my mind as far as being a husband, and then my marriage didn't work out. Does that mean that I should never have the opportunity to get married again? Okay. Because my first time around, I wasn't very good. Okay. At being a husband? No, it doesn't. You're not written off. You have another chance. Okay. And so saying that, I'm saying to the sticky goose guy, Daniel, and I don't know what what he sees in his future, whatever he wants to do. But I do know that there are other paths that he could choose if he wants to. And I would hope that he does.
He's got the following. Use it for good.
Yeah.
Like I said, he does have the following. Now, it's good, too, that, you give somebody a second chance. Now, this guy probably on the comments, I read on comics, that he probably didn't know that Sticky Goose did a apology video.
Yeah.
Now, that, and that's fine that that it was very good that he did it. The thing is now, okay, man, we forgive you. Not we, whoever's writing, we forgive you. Hopefully you do good. And like you just said, it depends on what he's going to do with it. Hopefully now, if he does this, maybe invite the people that, not that he made fun of, but he, said not some nice things. Bring them over, have a conversation, be friendly, start in that route. So hopefully he'll do that. And then you can, like you said, give him a second chance. Now, if he still goes down the other road, then fuck him in the ass. You know what I mean? So
that's not what I would do, but But I understand what you're saying. And you know what? You mentioned something as far as having the conversation. And you know what? And I'll be honest, some of the stuff he did was very hurtful. He hurt some people,
Oh, sure.
And you can use that, oh, I'm making content or whatever it is, and it's a content. A lot of people use the whole making content as an excuse to just be an asshole. And that's not the case. That's a cop out is what that is. You can't say, oh, I'm making it's for content, and just willy-nilly and just say whatever shit comes out of your mouth.
Exactly.
It's not responsible. Okay. And I'm not talking about, I'm talking about, in general in the world,
life
and stuff, you have to at least be responsible, for your own actions and your own words that you're coming out of your mouth and stuff, especially if they're aimed towards hurting someone,
Sure.
that really, for no good reason other than to get someone to watch me. Okay. And that's really the only reason that people do that. They make videos like that because they want people to look at me. Okay. To look at, okay. And that's all it is. It's like, there's other ways to get people to look at you. Okay.
Yeah.
And like I said, it might take a little bit longer,
Sure.
but you're going to feel a lot better afterwards. As
Exactly.
opposed to like, man, I just really fucking wrecked that guy.
Yeah.
And stuff, and
you fucked them in the ass. I get it.
Apparently you go to a certain
My go-to move.
But you know, but as far as like the responsibility of a comic book YouTuber, okay,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
this is my own thing, and if you don't agree with me, it's fine. I have a responsibility to my viewers to provide content that we both enjoy. That's really important. And I don't make content for YouTubers. Okay. I don't make content for John's Comments with Kids. I don't make content for Biggie Shack. I don't make content for, I'm just looking at the chat here, or Brian LCS. That's not who my content is for. And I don't expect them to watch it. There's no reason for them to watch it as far as like the actual videos I produce, which is mainly like my weekly comic book video. Okay. That video is for the regular person just going to the shop and buying their books,
Yeah.
that don't leave a comment on the video and, or whatever. That's who my content is for. Okay. Some of the other stuff, the interviews you might find interesting or whatever, jump in those and stuff, or if me and Bob get back together and do a coffee show, or if you're here right now watching me and John do our thing, and maybe you're enjoying that. So I appreciate that. But the regular content that's been on my show for years, that's not for them. I don't make it for them. Okay. Because I ask myself, is there a real reason for them to watch? Not really. They know what's going on. Okay. So I make it for the people that, are just like, oh, I wonder what's coming out next week, and they just like to watch a video. They like to be entertained or whatnot, and stuff like that. That's
Sure.
what those videos are for. So when I make videos like that, I am aware of who's watching them. I'm aware of just the nameless, Joe Smith that's going into the comic shop and watch the video on what's coming out. And he never left a comment on the video, but he's been watching for 5 years. That's who that video is for.
Yeah.
So my responsibility is to them to make sure I'm providing good content that they have value from. And I enjoy doing it as well. And I also, my time, and I've talked about this, my time in this space is coming to an end. I know I'm not the new kid on the block anymore, and I know as far as my presence, it's kind of fading. And that's a little bit by design, to be honest. I don't mind taking a step back and letting the new, people do their thing. Okay. But I do believe that in this area, when you come into it, you should leave it better off than what it was before.
Yes.
And that's something I wanted to do. Okay. I wanted to come in here. I wanted to leave it better off than it was before. And I think I've accomplished that. And I'll show you, I want to share this slide. And this is kind of what, let's see if I can pull this up. So this is a picture of, me and Tom. I think it was last year or earlier in the year. And I put this on my Instagram, and it said 6 years ago, Comic Tom and myself did something special. We had a goal to get people back into comics, and it says like mission accomplished. And that was one of our goals that we both had. We both had that in common right away. And I put that comment out, or that picture out, and there was a handful of people that got pissed off about it.
Why?
That's a good question. Why would someone get pissed off about that post? And it doesn't make any sense. It's like people just like to get upset, okay, about something, and they try to find anything they can. But in the back of their mind, I have a strong feeling they're like, you know what, they're probably right. They probably did help get people back in the comics, even though they're crapping on it or whatever.
Yeah.
They realize in the long run, hey, Comic Tom, Bueller, Reggie Collects. I bring him up because he's also someone who started like 2 days after I started. All three of those channels started the same week, just so in case anyone was curious. Comic Tom, Reggie Collects, Comics with Bueller, all started the same week, same year, same month. And it was like a wave that kind of went through the comic book community as far as like bringing new people on board to kind of, enjoy this comic book thing. Mm-hmm. And all three of us had that goal. We didn't go negative. We always went positive. We always invited everyone in. And all three of us had a lot of fun and a lot of success doing this. And I think right now that is missing a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But I think there is an opportunity for that to come back. And I
Well,
just think
hope.
people need to look for it.
Now, the question I have to ask you then is that we talk about all the there's so many YouTubers for comics, right? We can't even, I mean, there's thousands. The question I have to ask you is, do you think comic book YouTubers are good for the industry? Are they helping the
Yeah.
industry?
Yeah.
So
I definitely think that comic book YouTubers help out quite a bit. I think that there was a need for it,
okay.
and there was it was severely lacking. And there's always been like a handful of bigger comic book YouTubers. Okay, and when I say bigger, I'm talking about the 100,000+ subscribers, the 2 million, like variant comics, stuff like that, but comic pop and stuff like that. But most of all those comic book shows were all about, and still are all about like story. Okay, like today we're talking about Batman Arkham Asylum, and they kind of hit on that story. They're not really about collecting comics,
Yeah.
collecting books and stuff like that. That was a real area that was lacking when me and a handful of others kind of stepped in as far as collecting comics. Okay, there's a difference, and there was a need for it, and that's why our channels kind of did so well, because people were looking for that. The first thing I did when I got back into comics was I went home and looked on YouTube, collect comics, and found other channels of other people just buying comics, enjoying comics. So
Yeah.
there is there was a need for it, and there still is a need for it today. And so I think with this round of people out there that are doing YouTube content for comics, I absolutely think it helps. I think it helps quite a bit, and I hope that as time goes on, there's even more of it, and stuff.
Of what kind of YouTubers though? Because what I'm asking is, obviously there's different ones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you brought it up at one of your shows. There's the spec channels. Okay. There is the everyday channel. There is channels that just like to talk about books of the month.
Yeah.
And then there's other channels that freaking read you the books.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I want to be, because I think I'm going to throw it a different way than you are. And
Sure.
I'm not going to be a negative Nancy, but I do believe those channels are hurting comics.
You're talking about the ones that kind of, tell you everything you need to know about the book as far as what's going on, the story, and all that stuff. And there's no reason to go buy it.
Exactly. They're thinking that people are going to listen, and that are going to listen to it and then go buy it.
Yeah.
Never going to happen.
Yeah.
Now, are those channels good? I mean, I'm not going to badmouth them and everything like that. They're doing well for a reason. But I do believe they are hurting the comic industry a little, because why go out and buy it when I could listen to it?
Yeah.
And then the other one, and we talked about this early, and maybe I'll get shit on for it, but that's okay. I do believe that some of the review shows are hurting comics.
Yeah.
Because again, for example, we'll use Robbie, okay? His review show, I think you know him, right? Yeah. His review show is great.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's because he reads a lot. He goes to one book, ... goes to another book. Tells you, just keep on going and going and going. There are these other shows that tell you this book is good. Okay, great. Now this is what happened. Well, I don't have to go buy it because I already know what's going to happen. So that's what is upsetting me. I wish people would realize that when they're reviewing books, that's great. They're doing it. They're doing something they love. That's awesome. You can see the passion, but they should just shorten it. You don't have to tell that, oh my God, this person went down the hill and got shot in the head, and that's what happened. So I don't need to get that.
It's
So,
it's a tough thing to do, and I was telling you, because
yep.
we used to do reviews with me and Bob, and I struggle with Bob myself as well, doing a review without, really giving away the whole book. It's a very small book. It's a very small,
No, Jenn, not
piece
you.
to do it, and so it's just like, then that's kind of one of the reasons why we stopped reviewing books, because I didn't like giving away the book in the review, and that is a problem. That is something that a lot of YouTubers do, and I've said this in the past. And obviously we're friends with Robbie, but he definitely has a way to review a book without spoiling the book, which is a very unique ability, and I give him tons of credit for it. But there are, and I used to watch some of these channels, and I was like, that was not a review. That was a synopsis or whatever you call it.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that wasn't review. They just told me everything about the book, and it was like, I don't want to watch that, and I
No,
don't. That's not what I was looking for, and I don't even think they realize what they're doing.
no, that's the thing. No, I'm not saying they know that they're doing it. I
Yeah.
don't think they do know.
No.
And and then a lot of times what I do is with the channels, if they're going on a book, I fast forward it till they get to the next book, and then I fast forward it, so it doesn't make it. That's why I like mine. Not saying mine's perfect, but granted, I only got a minute. I only got one book, but I wish people, if they were going to do a review show, check Robbie's out. Robbie paid me a couple bucks to say this, but check his review out, and it would actually tell you and show you how to do a proper review, and
Yeah.
that's the part, because look, I'm coming from a person from a store point of view. Do you know how many times that I recommended a book and they're saying, they either said, "Oh, I already saw it on YouTube already. I'm not gonna. I don't want that," or "No, I'll just watch it on YouTube later." Like,
Yeah.
you could see the views that these companies are getting. These channels, they're getting 300, 200,000 a view,
Yeah.
for one story. Now, just take 10% of that, or 20% of that, of those people going to the store and buying the comics would be doing so much better.
Yeah.
That's the part that I understand they have a reason. Say that I don't know where to start. I know coming to a comic book store is a little intimidating, especially for a new person. And I get that YouTube is a perfect place for it. That's where, to say, hey, if you like Superman, they tell the story. Hey, that's where I'm going to start. So then they go to the store. That's awesome. But then there's a lot of people that just, again, running with their, the earphones on and just listening to the King of Black.
Yeah.
So you don't need to get it. So that's why I wanted to go with a different angle.
So you're not watching YouTube anymore, is what you're saying?
No, I don't even watch this. I'm not
Good.
even. Okay.
Good.
This is AI.
Yeah, this is not even a real person. No, those the storyteller ones, those they've been around, and like you said, there's two different versions. There's a review ones that kind of do the review, but they actually just kind of spoil the book. And then there's actually the YouTube channels that actually just do the story. They just kind of put the pictures on the screen, they talk about and stuff like that,
We say another example, sorry to interrupt, but another example that does good reviews is on The Experience. Every Tuesday night at 7, they do a show, Minute to Skim It. That's all they do. They talk about the book, a minute, bada bing, bada boom, next book. They don't give you everything. That's another good review.
I've never heard of that channel. But anyway, let's kind of wrap up the topic of this thing as far as the responsibility of the comic book YouTuber. And maybe I didn't answer any questions that people were looking for. But I do want to say that as long as you're enjoying what you're doing, you know, and you feel good, and you have the ability to, you know, at the end of the day, be proud of what you've done. Okay.
Sure.
And, you know, that's important. Okay. That's important to if you want to call it a legacy or lead by example or whatever it is, that's important. You know, to leave a mark. You know, I want my children to be proud of their father for what he's done in this medium, what I chose to do. Okay. And that's in the back of my mind. You know, I don't want my children to be like, oh, there's dad on there, you know, being a total asshole to someone, you know,
Right.
or
Right.
to somebody, you know, what a horrible legacy to leave behind. And, you know, it's just, everyone has that choice that they can make and go the direction that they want, you know, and you always have the opportunity to be a better self and to live your best life, as I say quite a bit,
Yeah.
you know, and your best life should be a good life. Okay. And a good life is one that people have enjoyed to be around.
Sure.
Stuff like
Yeah.
that.
And
So,
it seems like you, not, I don't know if you or whatever, but we have a good community here. You
yeah.
know, we have a good one with you. I'm going to mess up a lot of people, but you, Damien, Robbie, I mean, the whole like PCP armies, that whole community, John's with comics, everybody like that knows each other. This small, I don't know how small group, but this good group, Fable, you know, one
Yeah.
collection down, that's all it is. It's
Yeah.
pleasant.
It is. I want to say something about that because you just named a bunch of YouTubers. Okay. You just named a bunch of people that do YouTube.
Yeah.
And you're absolutely right on everyone that you name. And like you said, there's a bunch of others. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not the community. Okay. That is not the community. The community is the people that watch us. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
The community is the people that watch us that are nameless. Okay. And those are the ones that that I take a lot of pride in representing. Okay. The ones that don't leave the comments, the ones that just watch, you know, the community to me is not the people that you see nominated for the community awards. It's the people that vote for those awards,
Yes.
the people that watch the videos. To me, that's the community. Okay. I owe my channel and my livelihood over the last 10, whatever you want to call it, to those people. Okay. To those people that I don't know, that I've never met. I've had the opportunity to meet a few, but you know, to the 27,000 subscribers, to the 5 million viewers that have watched me, that's who I owe it to. Okay. That's who my community is and stuff.
Yeah.
That's when I look at that. And I'm glad that you named the YouTubers, but I want to make sure we bring attention to the actual people that matter. And the people that matter is not me. It's not John's Comics for Kids. It's not Fable. It's not Robbie. It's the people that take their time and choose to watch us. And it's important that we represent them in the best way that we can.
Best way.
And
Yeah.
I take that to heart. So hopefully I'm making some kind of sense to someone.
Well, I finished a full drink, so yes, you okay.
All right. So anyway, that is our topic for as far as what the role of a YouTuber is. And I think I'm right, but I always reserve the fact to be wrong. But let's go ahead and get to our next segment, which is our On the Rack segment. Okay.
Woo-hoo!
Some of the books that are coming out this week and next. And we're going to start off with, let's see. Okay. I don't know. This is the only Marvel book that I saw that interests me at all.
Yes. Yeah.
Storm #1, really great looking cover. I've always kind of liked Storm. It's another one of those From the Ashes books and stuff like that. So, and this is the A cover. So I think that's really the only thing I would have any interest in picking up, to be honest. Have you seen this one yet?
Yes. It's good.
It's good.
But yes.
Okay.
No,
I gotta take your word for it.
and I'm not I'm not an X-Men guy. I'm just starting to read this new From the Ashes and all stuff, and I actually enjoyed that, and Phoenix as well.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
We have this other one called Hyde Street by Image Comics. This is part of the Ghost Machine, I believe. I know that Robbie just did a review on it. I didn't see it. I only saw the last few minutes of that video. But have you seen this book at all?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So we don't know anything about this book, but this one looks, the cover alone interests me, Mr. X-Ray. So yeah, let's see what else we got here. These are just the books that kind of interest me as far as what's coming out this week. There's another one on here, and I'm curious if you've read this one. This is Crocodile Black. This is number 5.
Oh,
have you
yes.
read any of these?
Yes, I have not. I read 1, 2, and 3.
Did you like it?
Yes, very, very good. The artwork is, you have to get used to it, but
Yeah.
it fits the story.
Yeah. That's kind of what Damien was saying. I'd like to probably pick this up when it comes out in the trade.
Oh, you should. Yes.
I'm probably not going to get it. Go and find the books for it. And let's go ahead and go to some of the Dynamite books coming out this week because, of course, like I said, paying some bills.
If we have to.
Barbarella number 1. This will be out tomorrow.
Yes.
Everyone loves some space ladies.
Yeah. And these books, those books, the Barbarella books, I guarantee you they're going to go up in price because of the movie that's coming out. That's my favorite,
Well, of course. That's the wonderful cosplay.
Yes. But with Sydney Sweeney she is going to be Barbarella.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. And these books are, I'm not a Dynamite shill. I will tell you which ones are not good, but I really enjoyed. They've done the last 3 volumes. They've done a great job with the Barbarella, especially the artwork inside the book. Very, very good.
I think this one comes out tomorrow. Vampirella, Dark Reflections, number 5. Beautiful cover on that one.
Yes.
Let's see what else we got here. As far as next week, or maybe this is this week. I think this might come out tomorrow. I might be wrong, but I gotta show it. Rachel's cosplay again. Red Sonja, Death of the Devil, number 2.
Yep.
Rachel Holland right there.
Yes.
That is the cosplay cover. I like that one.
It's not a bad cover.
Let's see what's going on next week on Dynamite's got some pretty big titles next week. Of course, Space Ghost is killing it. Every shop I go to, they tell me it's one of their top sellers.
Yes.
So it's really cool to see that. A really cool cover too, by the way.
Oh, if people out there are not reading this, I don't care if you don't know anything about him. You've seen nothing of the cartoon, especially the, coast to coast. You owe yourself to freaking pick that book up. Woof. This one too. This
Quest number 3.
Yeah, this one is out of nowhere. I'm telling you, we did not think at our store that this was going to be a big hit, and people are loving this book, and you can't keep it in stock. You can't.
Let's see. I got another book from them, and you know what? Why not? Vampirella 672, the Rachel Holland cosplay cover.
This is a really good series.
That's just her regular office outfit.
Yeah, I was going to say, isn't that her Sunday outfit?
Yeah, she was going to church.
Yeah.
Okay, then. And then their big book next week, and I think you know what this one is, but this is coming out next week. This is the Terminator number 1. Looking forward to this. A lot of orders for this one. This is like Declan Shelby and Sal from Comic Pop is doing the backup story. We had him on the channel a few weeks back. Really, some really cool covers for this one. There's a lot of really cool exclusives that will be on my video tomorrow morning. I was looking at them earlier today and stuff like that. But Terminator is back, so you know what? People like the Terminator, right?
No, and I heard he's got a really good story of bring it back to the comics, something different. I haven't read it. I haven't seen it yet, but that's what I heard.
This is the big book next week. This is the one everyone's going to be picking up.
Oh boy!
Absolute Batman number 1. This is the Scott Snyder book. A lot of buzz behind this. I've heard it's really good. And you know what? There you go. It looks cool. There is an exclusive cover for this one. I'm not sure who's putting this out, but it's probably the one I like the best. That cover right there. Like I said,
Awesome.
I don't know who's putting that out. The swim trunk thing is a little different, but you know, but it's a pretty cool looking cover, and his head's
Right.
his head's a little small for the rest of his body. But it is pretty cool. So I think everyone's probably going to be picking this up next week. And I believe the cover price for the regular one is only $4.99, so that's good. Let's see. Oh, I wanted to share some of these, and you know what? I'm going to share them because I've been with them for some time. But we got Deadly Trails #2 hitting eventually. The A cover or the regular cover is a wraparound cover, so that looks really cool. And so be on the lookout for Blackbox Comics at your comic shop, Deadly Trails. And we're just going to show a couple of the other titles they got coming out because Demetrios mentioned this last week. This is Catabasis. This is one of the covers for it. Looks awesome.
Hey, Lewis, how you doing, brother?
Rob Boswell, how you doing, my friend? But this cover looks really cool, so I'm looking forward to this series. And this is coming out down the road. Let's see. I got one other book then because they got a series that's returning, kind of a volume 2, but they're just taking off with the 6th issue, Devil's Dominion.
Oh yes, I can't.
And this is due out in the next few months or so. And this is, I don't think this is the regular cover. I think it's the B cover, but this is pretty awesome looking as well. So be on the lookout with those Black Box Comics. And I got one other thing I wanted to share on the screen because I forgot to bring this up before. But where did it go? There it is right there. Oh, since we talked about Batman, so Comics on Coffee will have a booth at New York Comic Con later this month. They'll be the only one in there with coffee. The only coffee inside the exhibit hall, New York Comic Con, Comics on Coffee. So go check them out. They got their own little cups. They got all the DC licensed coffee. They got Lord of the Rings. They got Ghost Machine, and maybe some surprises. So go to New York Comic Con. I think it's free coffee, to be honest. I mean, you have to buy the bags, but they give you samples of coffee. So
yeah.
And you can go to their website. People all know all the links are down below. Use the code Bueller, you save 15%. But those are all the books that are coming up this week on the rack, and the ones I'm looking forward next week on the rack. Anything I missed that you can think of?
The biggest book of the week.
Oh dear Lord!
There's 2 of them. No, this I'm being serious. This part I'm being serious. I get serious a little bit, but DC. You did the Absolute Batman that's coming up next week. This week, Absolute Power #5, I do believe 5, right? Or 4, comes out this week, ends it.
Yeah.
And then they have the one shot, DC All In.
Yeah, that's bullshit though.
Why?
It's a gimmick book. You flip it over. Give me a break.
Oh, but it's fantastic because you know why?
I don't like gimmick stuff.
But it's good because it's continued into the Absolute books. And I've read already the Batman book. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. The Absolute Batman?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've read the Absolute Wonder Woman.
Did you have to flip over the Absolute Batman book to
no.
So it's just that one little gimmick.
It's just that DC All In book.
All in one gimmick. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. But people, please read the Absolute.
Does it have pop out pages like the pop out books used to back in the day?
Book. It's a color.
Okay. Yeah, it comes with watercolors, a watercolor page.
Yes. No, it comes with markers so you can sniff them when you're done.
Yeah, you're gonna have to sniff them before you read it.
But that this week, those are the 2 really big books. I'm trying to see if there's any others. You said The Storm. That's really it. But a lot of spooky books too. There's too many for me to mention. But if you're a horror fan, dude, go to the comic book store.
It is October.
Yep. Today's the 1st.
You think that has something to do with it?
Yes. Like Creep Show #1 came out last week.
Do you want to just roll this into your thing?
Sure.
Okay, it's time for John's Gadoosh Gadoosh. This is the Gadoosh segment.
Good. Spooky season is in effect, everybody, as everybody knows. So this is a good time to maybe jump on some books that you wouldn't think of, like Archie. Yes, Archie has a lot of horror books.
Why do you say Archie like that? Do you have
Archie.
a problem with no? Do you have a problem with Archie books?
No,
Because you're like Archie. Like we're not supposed to like Archie. You know what? That's really pigeonholing people's likes and dislikes, John.
No, because you wouldn't believe at the store when they have the books other than horror. I mean, they have horror books other than during the Halloween time. And every time I have to explain it, this is good. And everybody will go, it's an Archie book. But I'm like, no, it's a horror. The Chilling Adventures, they just add a little spin to the horror, to Archieverse. But there is a Creep Show that is out. You have Oni Press has the Epitaph of I forget what it is, Epitaph of Terror, I think.
Yeah.
And then you have Crew Universe, and this is the one I want to promote
Sure.
really big.
Monsters.
Yes, Monsters. And of course I had to get this cover.
Where's that cover from? You know what? Fuck you, John. You're not going to tell me?
I got it from my store.
Okay, whatever.
This is yours.
Yeah, save it.
It is.
I'll take it.
I'm giving it to you because I got me this one.
I like that one too.
So I got you this.
I'll have to pick. I'm going to Robbie's shop, so I'll have to pick up one of the covers because.
All right, which one you don't get, let me know. Because I honestly, I got this one for you.
Okay.
So, but that monster book. Oh, we should say we should say something about the book. Mark Spear's Monsters. Man, people, please, if you haven't picked this book up, because I know your stores didn't probably get a lot of copies because of Teen Spot.
Yeah.
But look at this. The artwork is.
He's doing the art and doing the story.
He's doing everything.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, this book came out last week.
Yeah.
Trying to get a good page. I mean, look at that. That's unbelievable, right? It was the #1 book of the week. And all these other publishers passed this up.
Yeah.
So, so everybody pick up that book and tell them John sent you.
Gadoosh, gadoosh.
Gadoosh, gadoosh.
Stupid. Whatever works, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Is that your gadoosh, or do you have any?
That's my gadoosh.
Okay. So let's go over to the next time. I'm going to show you some of the stuff I picked up. And I actually got some books from Dynamite. Apparently, I purchased these from them on one of the shows. They've been holding them for me for like 5 months because I don't really have an address or whatever. So I went there. So I don't remember ever purchasing this one. But
Rex just threw it on your pile.
Yeah,
That's
362. So I got that one. I think I do remember getting these. These are those Fantastic Four, the embossed ones that kind of have you can't really see it. It's got vision on there. And then there's the red one and stuff, And then I do remember purchasing this one, Fantastic Four, $3.95, because I had Wolverine on there. I thought that was pretty cool. I think theirs were all like a couple bucks a piece on the show, so it didn't cost much. I did find these. I found issue #1, The Power Fantasy.
Oh, have you read it?
No, I have not, but I got #2 as well. So I'm up to date, so I got them both. So I'm going to read those, and apparently there's a bunch of on the back of the books. Look at all that writing. Yeah. I don't know what that is. So the next stuff, if you guys watched, I had Mariano Nicieza on the channel, okay? And he was on a couple times. The first time he was talking about the Transformer cards. Second time he was doing a live drawing of the Muhammad Ali Superman right here on this table right here, which was amazing to see him do it live on the screen. But he actually gave me some of his works and stuff. And so I wanted to show, he gave me this Stan Lee's God Woke.
Oh,
And it's signed right there, and it's also signed by everyone involved in the book as well. Right there.
we should tell people who Mariano is.
He's an artist. He's been working in comics for a very long time. He works with Dynamite. We saw a lot of his original art on the claim sale we do on Thursdays, and actually you can pick it up on the Experience as well. Very nice man. Honestly, if you want to know him, go check out the 2 times he was on the channel last week. Yep. Very, very nice. He also gave me a couple of
brother too.
He what?
He has a famous brother.
Who's his brother?
Fabian.
Fabian?
Co-creator of Deadpool.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's his brother?
Yep.
Yeah. Don't say co-creator in front of Rob Liefeld.
Wow, fuck him in the ass.
Did you know that that's the one, when I was supposed to have Rob Liefeld on the channel, that was the one thing his agent said I could not say to him?
What's that?
I could not call him a co-creator. I had to call him the creator of Deadpool.
Really?
That was the only thing that was that they asked for. I was like, okay. And of course, we all know that never happened anyway. So, Mariano has his own books from Apex Comics Group. So he gave me a few of these. And Phase Universe, kind of cool.
There are
the Right Project.
Oh,
and the Outer Spaceman as well. And this is in a comic capsule. Just put that in there, guys. If you want to check out Comic Capsule, the link is down below. But they're pretty cool. But yeah, the Outer Spaceman. So I got some nice little books when I was in New Jersey there, hanging out with Team Dynamite, and I hit a couple shops as well. So that's what I picked up, and that's what I wanted to show. So not bad.
Question I have.
Sure.
What did you think of New Jersey?
Seriously. Well, I mean, I didn't really explore it as far as like go to New Jersey, go around and see things. I literally was at the Cracker Barrel and Dynamite.
Oh, okay.
I went to Starbucks and a few other things. So I didn't really, besides the travel center down the road, that's really all I saw in New Jersey. But, I had a good time. But let's go ahead and move into the last segment of the show, which is the Shoot the Shit.
Shoot the shit.
And I got a couple of things to talk about on the Shoot the Shit. And if anyone has any questions, please ask them in the comments. If you had any questions about the topic we talked about earlier, now's a good time to ask and stuff, because this is all freestyle, whatever. Just put a question mark so I can kind of see it. I'd appreciate that. But the first thing I want, are you aware of that documentary that came out on Netflix about Vince McMahon and WWE?
Yes, I haven't seen it, but I want to.
Okay. Are you aware? I mean, you're a wrestling fan. Are you kind of in the know and stuff? Okay. It was a great documentary, but it was everything. If you know about wrestling, you're not gonna learn anything new.
Oh, crap.
And on that point, it was kind of disappointing. There's nothing in that documentary that I didn't already know before. I follow wrestling and stuff. I have for a very long time. So it's all just regurgitated stuff that you've already known. And if you follow wrestling, but it's done very well. And it's not for the person who has followed wrestling. It's for the Netflix audience. So it's going to be consumed by a whole different audience. So I'm curious to see, how it's consumed and what people think about it. But if you're in the know, all these stories that they kind of share on that documentary, even the current stuff, it's pretty much everything in the news and everything that's kind of, it's been going on for years. So I was a little disappointed for that, and I was hoping a little bit more in-depth type thing. Have you ever watched that show, that Dark Side of the Ring?
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Yeah, watch those instead. Watch those, and you'll be like, "Oh shit!" I didn't know that. So
those are amazing.
Yeah, but yeah, if you got time, go ahead and watch it. But you're probably gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I knew that. That's kind of what I spent doing it." There was another show that started back up for season 3 called From. I think I mentioned it before. Have you watched that yet?
No.
It's about it's
Bueller.
Yeah.
Bueller. Was it good?
It was good. It was real good.
Not as good as Bob, but
yeah. It's on the third season. It's about it's kind of a horror. You'd like it. It's kind of a horror TV show, and that's about these people that are stuck in this town. They can't get out of this town, and there's like monsters that come out at night. It's really kind of a weird place and stuff. But it's on MGM Plus, I think it is, and I think the first 1 or 2 seasons are also on Amazon Prime.
Okay, I'll check that out.
It's by some of the producers who did Lost, so it definitely has that feel to it, as far as the hopelessness or whatever, So yeah. I kind of liked it. Are you gonna go see that Joker movie?
No,
I heard it's horrible.
I heard too.
I mean, I watched like 3 reviews today of people that are movie review channels. They're like, they're like, it's not. People are going to be disappointed.
Yeah,
I didn't like the first one.
Did you like the first one?
No, I hated it. I thought it was horrible.
Same thing. I did not like it. I actually have not finished it. I walked out of it in my own house.
Yeah.
So
where'd you go?
I went to the other room.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch it, and Brittany did. But
is there anything you're reading that we didn't cover?
No, we covered most of it. Yeah.
As far as what I want to read, it's this one right here.
I'm curious what you think about that.
I've heard some good things. So I'm going to be reading that one. As far as what I've read lately, not really too much, to be honest. But I probably do want to try that Batman one. And I did read the Wolverine one. I kind of had fun with the
the Revenge
one. I thought that was kind of fun. It's a standalone story. It doesn't have anything to do with what's going on.
No,
so if
no.
you're
and I mentioned the Absolute Power. That whole series has been amazing. DC did this totally right. So.
Well, I don't know about that. They did some kind of.
They did.
Stupid ass flip book for us. Like we're a bunch of children. But so as far as you alluded to this, but I spent last week at Dynamite and in New Jersey hanging out with the folks there at Dynamite. Nick Birchie was there, Rex, Amy, Wizard Boy Alex.
Did you see John or no?
John?
Yeah. John Cole.
Yeah, I don't think I saw him.
Okay.
But I had a great time hanging out with everybody. It was nice. Me and Rex got to go out to dinner the last night. That was a lot of fun. Meeting Amy was great. Amy and I and Nick had a late night Chinese food at the office. So that was cool and stuff. And it was just nice seeing them and hanging out for a few days. But that being said, that is the furthest I'm going on this trip. So I am now turned around and I'm heading back west. And right now I'm in Tennessee. And I was pretty close to where all the flood and all the damage was. But I wasn't in any type of danger by any means. But I was very close, and a lot of people were. A lot of linesmen with the vehicles and stuff. A lot of National Guard stuff like that. You could see them all over the place heading towards that direction. So it's like I was camped at a place, at a parking lot. I think it was in the Bass Pro Shop or whatnot, the other night, and there was constantly, people coming off the freeway heading down that direction to go and help. So there is help there and more coming and all that stuff. And a lot of people doing a lot of hauling of water down that direction and food and everything. So it's kind of nice to see. But I am like I said, heading in a different direction. I'm heading towards Huntsville, Alabama this weekend to hang out again with Robbie. It's going to be stupid.
So jealous. I'm so jealous.
We're definitely going to get shit-faced.
Yeah, I know. That's the part I'm jealous.
But we're going to have a good time, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'll probably be there for the weekend and probably head out on Monday and then keep on my journey going west towards my daughter in Albuquerque and then eventually to Oregon, to my home base for a little bit. I'm planning on being back home hopefully either end of October or 1st of November. But this trip alone, by the time I get back, will be over 4 months long.
Wow.
As far as being on the road. So I am like, okay, I'm happy that I'm going the other direction.
Yeah.
So that was kind of
good.
do there. I like your show a lot, man. They get the author. Okay. But it feels good to start heading back, you know, and it's just the weather's changed, which is better. It's more cooler now and stuff like that, you know.
Oh yeah.
And it's been a long, you know, 3+ months already, and I'm ready to just kind of get back for a few weeks and just kind of relax, not have to worry about putting on miles the next day, you know, or driving, and just kind of, you know, have a few weeks to myself before I take off again. And that leads to something else I've been kind of wanting to do, and I'm going to share this. And I've been looking into this a little bit. There's a lot of things on my list I want to do, but this is a map of Amtrak trains. Okay, and if you look on this map, you can actually take a trip starting from Portland, Oregon, all the way up there in the upper left-hand corner. You can go all the way over towards New York, and then you can go all the way to Florida, and then you can go back up and then through Texas, and then all the way through California and back up to Portland. And I want to do a trip around the country by train.
Oh, wow.
And it's the Amtrak has what's called the USA like rail pass. It's like $500, and it's good for a month. It's basically you can ride the train for a month anywhere you want to go for 30 days and stuff like that. And a lot of times that rail pass goes on sale like after the Christmas season and stuff, because travel is really low after like in January and February. So that pass goes on sale for like $300 or $400, and that will get you like a whole month pass to ride the rails and go wherever you want to go. And so that's kind of what I've been looking into. I think I might go from Portland down to LA and then across to like through Arizona and stuff to Chicago, then down to Florida, and then back up and around to Oregon and stuff like that, and do like I timed it out. It was like a 27-day trip to do it on the rails and stuff. That's a lot of coach sleeping, but you know what? I'm okay with stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
But I think it would be kind of fun to kind of ride the rails for that time, to be able to do it for just a few $100s.
Sure.
Know, and see the entire country
in a month. Yeah.
Yeah. It's and just sit there and relax and not have to drive or get gas or whatever, you know, just literally sit there and relax, you know. Yeah. And meet new people on the train. That's one thing I really enjoyed doing when I took to Chicago, is I got to meet people and just hang out and talk and hear their story, because I like hearing people's stories and stuff, you know, what kind of brought them there and everything. So that's kind of something I think would be kind of cool. I've done Amtrak Toledo to DC trip many times over the last 10 years. That's awesome. I like it. I liked my trip from Portland to Chicago. That was 2 days there and 2 days back. I had a good time. I think it was only like $200 for that trip. Yeah, you just go to the observation car, which is right there. It's really cool. You just go and you can sit up there, and it's like a 360 room with a window all around. And you can just go sit up there for the most time and just kind of sit out there and look out at the scenery and stuff. And they got food on the train and smoke breaks if you need them, you know, when they stop. So it'd be kind of cool. But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about doing before I head back down to Arizona, because I want to spend the winter in Arizona for the most part, until I go to Florida with this idiot right here.
Yeah, don't come down. It's freaking like 110 degrees right now.
Yeah, I was looking at the place in Arizona where I want to go to, you know, in Quartzsite. It's like 112 degrees right now. I'm like, what the fuck is going on there, man?
Ugh, it's horrible.
Why would you? I got friends that are already down there.
Ugh.
How are you down there?
Ugh.
Like, oh, it'll change soon. I go, not soon enough.
Yeah, not soon enough.
Yeah. But anyway, I think we should wrap it up, unless you got anything else that you want to talk about.
Just we've been watching a lot of horror movies, TV shows from Mike Flanagan. A lot of them you could get them on Netflix. The House of Fall of Usher, freaking great, and they're all limited series. They're only 8 episodes, one and done.
Have you watched the show Chaos on Netflix?
I haven't seen it yet. I heard it's okay. I know it's Greek gods and everything. So Jeff Goldblum is Zeus.
Yeah.
And then we're watching Midnight Mass and then The Midnight Club. So people check those out on Netflix. They're all horror, like scary, really good horror TV shows.
You can tell I like the Chaos, but you could tell that they didn't have like a huge budget for it.
Oh, really?
So I mean, it looks good, don't get me wrong, but they leave a lot to the imagination.
Okay.
And which they did it really well, but you can tell, like, you know, okay, the budget wasn't a lot on this, but it does look well. But with the things that they're dealing with, as far as, like, you know, plagues and tragedy and all this stuff, they leave a lot to the imagination. So you just what's going on over there? They don't show you, but you just kind of okay.
Got to think. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, nice comment, Brittany. Thanks. You see what she wrote?
Actually, you would have more than enough room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been on the Amtrak?
No.
There's. Yeah. No, trust me. It's not like an airplane at all. It's not even like, I mean, first class doesn't even, like, first class on an airplane is probably half the size of a regular coach seat.
Really?
On a train.
Yeah. Oh, I hate flying.
There's enough room to where you can lay down the thing totally flat and still have 2 feet in front of you and 2 feet behind you. It's and there's hardly anyone rides trains anymore. So
that's true too. It's sad.
When you're on a train car, let's say there's 50 seats on the train, maybe 20 of them have people in them.
That's sad.
Yeah. The rest are just, you can do whatever you want. So yeah. Now the bathrooms are small.
Well, I'm used to that on the submarine, so that's okay.
Yeah, so you have to get used to that. But as far as the train, actually, I think I got a picture of like the seats. I'll send it to you and stuff. But you'd be surprised. There's plenty of it.
All right, cool.
But I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed the topic that we had today. Just put your best foot forward, man.
Yep.
That's the best advice I can give someone who's doing comic book YouTube and their responsibility that we all have to our audience. You put your best foot forward and you try to lead by example. The best thing I say, leave your mark, be proud of it, and have fun doing it.
Spread some positivity while you're doing it too.
And like I said, that whole thick skin thing, enjoy yourself. There's other things you need to have thick skin for. Yeah. And talking about comics on YouTube shouldn't be one of those things.
No.
So, all right, John. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. We're gonna go now. I gotta walk my dog.
Ooh. Oh, you want to see dog? This is my son's dog, right here. See?
What's it doing?
Oh, Jesus.
What is that? Looks like that. That looks like that baby hippo.
No, he's such a cute boy. He's just resting. This is the quietest he's been.
Okay.
So I don't want to wake him. But I couldn't believe he was here this whole time. He's been sleeping. So he's a good dog.
There you go. All right, everyone. Live your best life. You know what to do. We'll see you next time.